And so when I work with leaders, I point that out to them. I said they're not bad leaders. They just need to sit back and put themselves in the position of the team they're leading. And they need to oftentimes ask themselves, is this how I would want to be led? Let's talk about leadership. So I'm really excited to talk about this subject. I feel like it's something that many people kind of talk about it as though you're either born a leader or you're not. I've been told throughout my career that I'm a very strong leader, but I know if I'm being honest with myself, I haven't always been a strong leader. I think it's really important for me to share a little bit with you about what I think a strong leader looks like. I've worked with founders over the years, many, and in many situations, I've worked in companies that are on the decline. I call them turnarounds, but I've worked with a lot of turnarounds. And while that has its challenges, I have learned so much about why companies succeed and why they fail. And so leadership is a big core piece of the state of a company. If you can typically look to a leader and know kind of what the company looks like. It's almost like a litmus test. Strong leadership typically correlates with strong results. Not always, but in a lot of ways it does. So let's talk about the three types of leaders that I've seen. This is just how I see it. I bucket them up because I do see some strong correlations with why I put them in that bucket. And I feel like if you're listening to this, you might actually see yourself in one of them. The friend leader wants to be friends with everyone in the business. They want a kumbaya feeling. They want to make sure that whatever they communicate, it's positive. They tell people what they want to hear. They tell people what they think that they want to hear. They're just really comfortable with giving positive affirmations, but they're not very comfortable with constructive feedback. They'll say that over and over again. I just am not good at having hard conversations. I just don't want to rattle the cage. I don't want someone to be upset with me. I think that if I tell them that, they'll quit. They'll decide they don't want to work here anymore. I'm not strong in that area. And I'll say, well, this is an opportunity. This is a huge opportunity for the business. And in some ways, I'm refreshed because I think to myself, wow, yeah, we can put systems in place. We can do all of that. But until we get the leadership really dialed in, some of those things end up just becoming distractions of what's really going on in the business. That's the first leader. It's the friend leader. The second leader is the fear leader. So the fear based leader, they are very much, they have no problem giving feedback. They have no problem telling you what's going to happen if you don't get up to speed and make things happen. They have no problem kind of being that person who walks into a meeting and everyone just sort of clams up and lets them talk, doesn't give feedback. I've been in companies like that. I've been on meetings where it's 30 people on a conference call and we go around and we all give our feedback on this or that, and it's everything is what they want to hear because no one wants to be on the hot seat. No one wants that leader to snap at them. No one wants to be called out if they're not hitting their goals. So there's that leader, a fear-based leader. Maybe it's because they've been kind of raised by fear-based leaders. Maybe that's what they think people respond to. But telling people the consequences without doing it in the right way and helping them understand how they can hit the mark next time, creating a safe space so that people can bring you problems in the company and they're not afraid of judgment or afraid of having some sort of consequence. If you create a fear based culture, you will never truly hear what's going on in your company. People will not truly speak up about how your company can be better. And I'll tell you, I believe it's the people that build the cars that really know how to drive the cars. And what I'm saying by that is if you want to know how to streamline your warehouse, you go in and you talk to the shipping receivers. You talk to them one on one and you ask them what the bottlenecks are. If you want to streamline customer service, you go speak to your on the phone customer service team and you ask them what the feedback is. If you want to fix your product, you speak to your customers. I think a lot of companies don't realize that the answers to solving a lot of their problems are the very people they're avoiding or the very people that they're fearing into basically not wanting to provide that insider information. And then the third, which is where I've become kind of the leader and known for is the family based leader. I haven't always been here. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that in 20 years I haven't tiptoed in the friend spot. When I started my career, I didn't have that confidence to give people feedback. I was still learning on the job. So yeah, I probably had to, stumble there a little bit. Got too friendly with people, then I had to have a hard conversation, and instead of being able to have that constant communication of so they feel safe with feedback and constructive and, both positive and negative feedback, they became sort of alarmed that wow, this is the first time you're telling me this. And it was only when things became sort of red alert, and then I've been the fear based leader where I've thought, I need to be tougher. I need to be tougher because if people don't fear me, they won't do what I need. That also comes from insecurity, I think. As I became more confident in who I was as a contributor in the business and what I really wanted to be to people and how I really wanted to feel when I went to sleep at night, I wanted to lay my head in the pillow and feel really good and never have any regrets about how I said something. That's when I moved towards the family leader. And the family leader might seem a little kumbaya, but it's not. Just think about your family. Think about your parents. I'll think about my daughter. So I think I'm a very loving mother. I have a great relationship with my daughter. As a matter of fact, many people tell me that they've never seen a relationship. She's my only daughter and um, my only child. I have stepchildren that are amazing, but she's my only child. And honestly, the only one I can take credit for because the others were grown when I met them, or a little more grown, and they have an amazing mom and all the things. So with my daughter, I had to find the balance of love and I had to find the balance of friendship and trust, but I still needed to be her parent. I still needed to have the hard conversations and I still needed to let her know when I was questioning if she's making the right decisions. And if I saw her if I saw her acting in such a way that I felt this is something that she needs to know that I'm observing because maybe her friends don't have the courage to tell her, but I do as her mom. And so I built a relationship like that with her. And I became a mother 18 years ago. And I'll tell you, that's probably by the time she started talking, maybe she got to toddler years when I really started to have to be a mom, tweens, da da da. That's when I really started reshaping who I was as a leader because I started to look at the people that work with me as no longer just people that work for the company. I looked at them as this could be my son, this could be my daughter, right? This could be my friend. And I'm getting ready to let them know that they're not hitting the mark. And I need to do this in a loving way because I need them to hear, receive, and I need to not just give them feedback, but I need to provide them some resources, some development opportunities to get better. So I became very much a family leader, leading by example, leading for the greater good of the family, which is insert company. I became the leader that really thought, what's best for my family? And how do I develop a family that can do great things in the world? So when I would hire people, I would hire them and I wouldn't say to them, I hope you stay forever. I mean, of course I do, but I wouldn't expect that. I would say, if you stay forever, that would be a bonus. But I can tell you one thing, if you come and you join our team, you will learn, you will grow, and you'll be in an environment where when you decide to leave, your earning potential will go up because you'll be much more valuable in the job market because you'll know more. And that's how I led and that's how I recruited. I'm really proud of that. So I bring that to my clients. I say, hey, it's no problem. You can be their friend and you can tell them when they're doing things that aren't in alignment with what we need for the business. But you can do that in a caring way, in a constructive way that moves them forward. And it doesn't leave them in a mindset of I'm perfect and I'm in complacency or in a mindset of I'm afraid and I can't openly tell my boss that I don't know what I'm doing or that I don't understand this. It moves them in a place of family where family, we can tell each other anything. We can be really open and honest and raw. And when we fall, our family picks us up, they get our back. And so that's what works now. And I think it's really important. That's my style. And so when I work with leaders, I point that out to them. I said they're not bad leaders. They just need to sit back and put themselves in the position of the team they're leading. And they need to oftentimes ask themselves, is this how I would want to be led? Is the conversation I'm having when I'm in fear based mode something that would make me better at my job? And I'll tell you, I see this not just in companies. I see this in sports. I see this in club sports. We've had great coaches and we've had coaches that just don't have strong leadership skills. And I see it because I'm a business person and I'm always looking at things from the outside and giving people the benefit of the doubt, recognizing they just don't have the skill set and they honestly don't, they're not introspective enough to think that they're changing the course of this athlete forever, potentially in this conversation. So, how they deliver this could be better, could be the difference between that athlete quitting a sport or continuing to pursue it. Same thing in business. The experience someone has in your business could be the difference between them becoming the best version of that role or just deciding they don't want to be in that industry because they don't like the way they're treated. So I'll leave you with that. The three types of leadership. There's family, that's the one I lean into. There's fear-based, and then there's the friend. And I think a happy medium is understanding that you can be their friend and still develop them. You can provide feedback, constructive feedback, and still help them want to be in the business and help them want to grow. And you can do all of that through more of a family mindset, really just thinking about how would I say this to my family? How would I treat my family? And so I wish that for you and your business. I'm going to leave you with that final note, and I will see you soon.